So this message is for Jeff Bezos. So as I was speaking previously about the United States Postal Service and how everything's outdated, right? So let me give you a situation. So as you know, with all this raving and ramping about things that have been done to me, right? I received a letter in the mail that my mama sent a picture of it to me through the kiosk system while I was in prison, that my father has gotten a ticket in my name, so my license in New York has been suspended. But the thing is, I never had a license in New York, okay? So this is fictitious activity. Now I said, well, why is the ticket in my name, okay? And there's only two ways that the ticket can be in my name. One, the car is in my name, okay? And two, he has a fake driver's license assuming my identity. So because we share the same first and last name, Adrian Gamery, right? Our middle names are separate, right? So boom, I said, okay. And then I said, well, maybe he got a little ticket and the cops, I don't know, ran the names and didn't notice that there were two separate Adrian Gamerys, right? So long story short, when I get out of prison, I end up contacting the DMV and the DMV in New York and notified them of the situation. Okay? So here goes what I'm saying. In 2025, we have moved to a society of not wanting to get paid to do all work, right? So everything is being screened to do it online on a ticket, which is no personalization, and they don't have the right wording, and everybody's not tech savvy. So I sent the letter out with everything, all right, to the DMV. No response, all of this stuff, whatever, boom. So now it brings me down to the United States Postal Service, right? If I go to the Postal Service right now, I go in there, I sent many letters out to many companies, many CEOs, okay, Fortune 500 CEOs. If I send a letter out, right, I send a letter, the contents of my letter is inside the envelope, is encased inside the envelope, right? What I want to do with the United States Postal Service is to digitize the United States Postal Service. So let's just say you send a letter out, okay? When you send a letter out, you're sending two letters out. So let's just say I send a letter. I'm getting ready to send a letter out. There's two things you need to have, okay? First is the stamp. The stamp is a new stamp that has to be scanned. It has to be scanned. And this scanning of this stamp has the contents of what you send out, okay? So if I send one letter out, I scan it, it's to the stamp, you know what I'm saying? My stamp is provided. I scan my contents on the kiosk, right? After I scan it, it's one letter. They give me a one stamp with the stamp that has the right information to the information and the profile of the person that is sending. Okay, so it has the profile of the person that is sending, which is also backed by video recordings because you're in front of a kiosk, right? And it's also has the contents of what is scanned on the stamp. Okay? So, boom. So now when I send a letter out, right, everything is being traced. Everything. If I say I sent this out and this became an invention or whatever the case may be, that will be able to be traced. There's a big gap in this world between the old days and the days that we are in. And we must cross over this, right, in order to make it greater, to fulfill this gap. And that's what we can do with the U.S. Postal Service. Now, what would happen is old school ways of sending letters will be no more. That's in the trash, okay? You have to come to the Postal Service, okay? You have to scan your documents, right? Which will be on your profile. So you have a history of what you're sending, all right? And that'll be it. That right there will transform our postal service. It'll be amazing. And it'll help us out tremendously in years to come. Yeah. Yup. To digitize how we send mail. Okay? Now, with Traconomy, right? If we do this and we partner with Traconomy, which is, as you know, what I have created, right? If we partner with Traconomy to get this thing done, then what we will be able to do is not only digitize the mail we send, right? Encased in the stamps that are received for the mail being sent out, but we would also be able to track where the mail goes at every step of the way. And that's the future.